Hello, well, hello everyone. Welcome to Runs with the Barcode, our Sunday night chat. It's a special International Women's Day episode, I should say, a session where I'll go through everyone and we're going to get talking about all kinds of things about parkrun and running. So today we have got from top right, we have Jackie Hancock, who is from Pegasus Parkrun, just north of Christchurch. Bottom right, you see Julie Collard, who is event director at Owairaka Parkrun in Auckland. And then bottom left, we welcome back Claire Taylor from Millwater Parkrun. So welcome everyone. So this year's theme for International Women's Day is Choose Your Challenge. So we'll just talk a bit about that and a few other bits and pieces. So I'd like to start with you, Jackie. So could you share with us, something that you faced a challenge in with running?
Every time I run's a challenge, to be honest. Parkrun is sometimes the only thing that keeps me going with my running. It's the fact that I can go along and it doesn't matter what time I do. I know lots of people at my parkrun. I know that they'll be supportive, whether I've done it in 26 minutes or 36 minutes or 56 minutes. There'll always be somebody there supporting me and cheering me on. And if I want to go slower, then there's always somebody slower to run with. And if I want to try and go faster, there's always somebody to help push me on as well. But yeah, running's a challenge every time I go out the door. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I putting my body through this? And it's because it's good for me mentally. That's my thinking time, my breathing space. So yeah, running every day's challenge.
And when Claire was on her first time, we talked about how she got into parkrun. Do you want to share how you got into parkrun too?
Claire's dad got me into parkrun, my Uncle Trevor. He came over from the UK to visit and did one of his big runs with Claire in Auckland before he came down here. Pegasus hadn't started at that point, so he made me get up very early and drive into Christchurch and go to Hagley Parkrun, and I moaned and whinged and whined the entire way round. He was making me run it. And Uncle Trevor was a very gracious man, and he was very patient and very calm and very lovely with me whinging and whining and moaning my entire way around. But I got my own back when I was back in the UK a couple of years ago. He came to Thetford Parkrun to do Thetford Parkrun with me, and I pushed him all the way around because I had got faster than him. So it was a little bit of pain.
Revenge.
Yes, revenge.
I think you love that.
So yeah, and kind of as soon as Pegasus started, that was it. We started off saying we're not going to feel we have to go every week, we're not going to feel that we have to volunteer heaps, and we're not going to feel any pressure to have to run every week. So I became event director, and a considerable amount of volunteers under my name and 176 park runs to my name as well. So yeah, that went well.
That's the thing with parkrun though, isn't it? You kind of get hooked. Thanks for sharing that, Jackie. It's always good to hear how people get into parkrun and what they envisioned, that it wouldn't really have so much of a hold on them, and find out that you end up doing all these other things, all to do with parkrun.
Loving it. Yeah, and loving it. Loving the whole community aspect, the health aspect, the looking out for each other. It's a great thing that Paul started.
Awesome. So we'll just go on to Julie from Owairaka. So what has been your biggest running challenge to date?
Well, I think that I'm just running less and less through injury mainly, and through being busy. Now I'm an event director. But mainly I've just had niggles like ankles, knees, hips, you name it. And I think that parkrun has been a bit of a saviour, because in the past when I've had injuries, I've just sort of stopped running and stopped most exercise, in fact, and it hasn't been good. But I guess that this time, it's sort of been the last year or so, I've just found, why not walk? I can walk parkrun, I can walk non-parkruns, and, I haven't been, when I first started parkrunning, I would have been mortified to have walked it, but now I see what a great thing that is to, as Jackie said, to be able to go and do anything I feel like. Last time I went, I got caught up with all the young runners and everything, and then I had to stop and walk, and jogged and walked back. But that's fine. No one's going to judge you, and you're still going to get clapped at the end. And yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, I can still do that even though I'm recovering. So
that's great. I love that people who are injured still come along to parkrun and they're involved as a volunteer.
Definitely, yeah. So I'm not afraid of volunteering at the moment, because some days I go and I run. I'm not sure if I can actually run it or not. So, I will do anything.
So can we hear a bit about your parkrun story as well, Julie, and how you came to parkrun addicts?
Yeah, I mean, I'd always run and run a fair amount, and even did a lot of races. But I'd heard, and at my school, I'm a teacher at intermediate, and I had a run club that I started before I heard about parkrun. And funnily enough, it was sort of along the same lines. It's about participation, and it's about achieving milestones. When they do 50 laps, which is a 1K lap, they get not a T-shirt, but they get a badge. So that sort of grew. And then one of my runners one day said to me, there's this thing called parkrun. I was like, on a Saturday, and it's free? It sounds a bit weird, but that put the seed in my head. But it took me years, I'm ashamed to admit. I was very involved with Saturday morning sport with my school, with netball. But eventually, at the beginning of 2017, I took my whole family, because we all ran, and I printed them barcodes and laminated them, and marched us all off to Cornwall Park. And from the beginning, I was just like, wow, I want to volunteer, and I want to make a new park run. I wanted to do all these things. Took me a wee while, but yeah, done most of those things now. So, but today another challenge came to me. Can we include future challenges?
I was going to come around to like a next challenge, but
okay. We'll save that for the next round. Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so Claire, what's been a challenge for you while running?
Oh, like Jackie says, every day is a challenge. There's always a little excuse niggling away at the back of my mind every Saturday morning. Or maybe my ankle's a bit sore, or maybe I'm just a bit tired. But, always just getting out there and doing it is it's so liberating. And, you just feel great when you're finished. And like the others have said, it doesn't matter in what capacity you're there. I've had some of my best events, just walking with my daughter, who's moaned and whinged all the way around. But, she's been out there. She's ultimately had a good time too. I had one event last year when I turned up to run and my hamstring gave out in the first K, and I ended up connecting with a lady I knew from parkrun, and we just talked all the way around. And at the end of it, we both just acknowledged that we both needed that. We both just needed a chat, and both of us felt so much better afterwards. So yeah, whether you're running, you're walking, you're volunteering, it doesn't matter. Just getting there is important. I've got the official challenge if COVID doesn't keep interrupting, I'm nearly at 250. I've got 235 under my belt now, and for me, that's my next big thing. I really want to get my green shirt, my 250 run. But yeah, I mean, it's been different challenges along the way. I'm kind of no longer chasing my PB. That's a few years gone by now, and I'm running a good 3 minutes slower than I used to. Just get there, just do it. Volunteer, walk, run, doesn't matter.
A finish is a finish. Finish counts towards your milestone shirt.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's great to hear all the varieties of challenges that have been faced, and I'm sure a lot of people can probably resonate with the injuries and the just getting out and doing it, even when you don't feel like doing it, and finding the time to get out and run. But what about a challenge? Have you chosen a challenge for this year when it comes to your running or parkrun? Jackie, we'll go back to you.
My challenge for running in general is to actually enjoy it and to not worry about times. Easier said than done. And to not worry about where I'm finishing in the pack or who's ahead of me or who's behind me, but to actually just go out and enjoy it. And I've done a couple of runs where I've purposely gone with a friend who I know has been slower than me. I'm not sure she appreciated it because I got her a PB, but she wasn't going for a PB on the day. But it was nice to be the person encouraging somebody else to do well with their running. So for my general running goal is to just enjoy it. And I guess for me, I'm at 176 park runs and 259 volunteers. So it's kind of reaching those next, getting to that 300 volunteer and that 200 a year or so off the 250. But yeah, so they're kind of my next one. And probably to visit a few more different park runs as well. I haven't done that many around New Zealand.
Direct flights to Rotorua, Jackie, from Christchurch, just saying.
We've got to go and do Whangarei first, Claire, haven't we?
We do. Yep.
Oh, we need to go and do that together.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my January parkrun.
We can probably make that work. Mum and Dad are coming up in January, Claire.
Ah, so bring them with you.
We'll make them do Whangarei parkrun as well.
It's a great event. You've got to do it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan. So any other challenges there, Jackie, or was it just to have fun and enjoy it?
Just to enjoy it and to kind of keep getting those numbers up.
Yeah, cool. What about you, Julie? Got a challenge for this year?
In the short term, personally, I'm hoping to get on the leaderboard for 15 events. I'm on 14, and I was meant to have done Lower Hutt yesterday, but that didn't happen. So I'm booked for 2 weeks. So for the 20th.
So you got flights.
Well, I'm lucky it's a work thing I've got on the Friday. So in Wellington, it got postponed 2 weeks. So because of COVID. So yeah, I'm hoping to get there. So that will give me my 15th New Zealand event. But later on this year, maybe August now, with the delays, I hope to get my 100. I'm way behind you other ladies. I think I'm on 86 park runs, and I got over 100 volunteers, but some of them are 2 volunteer roles on a day. So I've just reached 80 volunteers. So I hope to get my double 100. That's what I'm aiming for,
Nice.
which will be kind of fun and hopefully help to inspire others. Because at Owairaka, we're pretty new. It's our next one will be number 19 for us. And although it's got easier to get volunteers, we're still building our base. Like, we get visitors from all the other park runs in Auckland, is no problem. But our base of Owairaka as their home park run and regular runners is growing steadily. But I want to get more of them and more women involved and kids and families. So yeah, that would be great.
Have you managed to get the neighbours down the streets to come to parkrun? The ones where you park?
Not my streets, but I have some friends.
The parkrun street.
Oh, the parkrun street. Well, the house next door to the start line is for sale, so someone should snap that up and jump out of bed at 5:02. Yes, some from local streets have definitely come down and are coming every week. There were some that were walking in the park, anyway, and came along and noticed us. And there's a lovely lady who walks, and she's wears a headscarf, and she's probably done 4 or 5 now. And yeah, so it's good. Yeah, but we're getting bigger.
Nice. I love your challenge of 100 and 100 for the same day. I look forward to seeing pictures of that.
Yeah. A bit of timing. I've got an Excel spreadsheet, so I go.
Awesome. What about you, Claire? What's your challenge?
Yes, I've obviously my 250 is my biggie. I'm approaching my 100 volunteer as well, which is another biggie, and that's probably one I'm more proud of, to be honest. Yeah, that's an important one. Again, I want to get around more park runs too. I think I've done 12 New Zealand now, and there's so many more to do. But I find our lives kind of take us in the same circle. So it's like, oh, back to Rotorua or back to Whangarei or back to wherever. So yeah, I haven't done Owairaka. I need to go and see.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's like the Brady Bunch, hey?
Attempt was called.
Yeah, Owairaka's my Nindi. I need to do that one next. Yeah, but I'd like to get to that 15 as well. Yeah, and my co-event director Reese paced me a couple of weeks ago, the last 2 park runs ago, I think. And he really pushed me. It was really hard, and I did my best time for about 3 or 4 years, I think. So yeah, there's part of me that goes, oh, there's that speed is in there somewhere. Perhaps I can get that back. So I would like to try and speed up personally as well. But I love my role as I work mainly behind the scenes at Millwater. I'm sort of at the end of the emails and the Facebook page, and I just love communicating with those people who make that first point of contact and want to get involved in some way. Like the volunteer coordinator role is amazing, and it's always great to see those people finally say, oh, I'd like to give it a go, I'd like to volunteer. And just working with those people is brilliant. Yeah.
All right, so some good challenges around the table, as it were. For me, I set a really lofty goal of trying to get a new PB, and I set my PB back in 2017 when I was about 10 kgs lighter and training for a couple of marathons. So who knows? I got my PB the morning after I'd been for a float. One of those. It's a float tank, isolation therapy or something. I can't remember what they call it. Where you're in this tank of the water's so salty that you float in it, and you have the lid on you, and it's completely dark, and it's like an hour of meditation. And I swear that made me go faster the next day.
Breakfast, Alison.
So wonderful.
Australia.
Yeah. No,
you can have the lid open. You can have the lid open if you wanted, but I didn't want the lid open. It was a really, really fast time, and I haven't got anywhere close to it. So that's my goal for the end of the year. But I don't really do so well in summer, so I probably need to reach that PB by November. And the other big goal is the expensive goal is to be get my countryman status, so finish all the park runs in New Zealand.
So what number are you up to?
I'm on 27, and like you, Julie, I should have run another park run this weekend. I would have gone to Trentham Memorial for event number 6, but no park runs, so cancelled my trip because there wasn't really much point. My next park run, my next new to me park run is going to be Owairaka, because I am back down there in 2 weeks for another planned trip. I'm going to be doing Bruce McCardle, who's one of the Lower Hutt original park runners. He does a bus trip every year, and it's going to 6 park run courses in the space of a day. So, on Sunday.
4 freedom park runs.
6 freedom park runs, yeah.
Wow.
So it's Lower Hutt, then Owairaka, Kapiti Coast, Palmerston North, Greytown Woodside Trail, and then Trentham Memorial.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you're going to blog about that?
Oh, yeah. I won't be doing a live stream from it because I don't have the data. I probably won't have the data for it either, to be fair. But yeah, I'm aiming to do all 33 by the end of the year. I have just put a couple of fares on hold for a trip to Dunedin and a trip to Wellington to go back to Trentham. So I'll get them done. I've got a trip booked already for Kapiti Coast. That'll be in April. In May, I'm going to see Jackie, hopefully, at Pegasus, and I'm going to go to Wanaka. I can't book anything.
When are you going to Wanaka?
The last weekend. In May.
In
May.
I'm going to Monica in July. So yeah.
Well, July we've got school holidays, and if I remember rightly, Claire, you're going to be going to Topol Parkrun.
Yep.
So I will be going to
Topol.
Topol.
Before. It's not a new one for me, but we'll be there. So yeah, I'll see you there. We've never met before, so that'll be cool.
Oh.
So that will be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't have parkrun this weekend, sadly. Ooh. Level 2. So did anyone log a not parkrun this week? Jackie, did you log a not parkrun?
Did.
You did? Awesome. Yeah. When did you do your not parkrun?
In Pegasus on Saturday.
Yeah. And how about you, Julie?
I attempted it. I made the first out and back at Owairaka, and I didn't make the second, so I can't record it as a non-park run. But yeah, it was on Friday evening.
Oh, the thought was there.
The thought was, yeah, the body wasn't willing.
Right. How about you, Claire?
Yeah, I logged one yesterday morning. I intended to go out quite early, but I ended up talking on the phone with my sisters in the UK, and I think I hit the road at about 9:45, by which point it was really hot. And I was berating myself the whole time for leaving it so late. But yeah, it was done. I did it.
And I was wondering if, like, we see a lot of women at parkrun, and you know, it tends to be like a 50-50 split. And I've looked at our not parkrun results. Up until Saturday, I was the only person who was on our not parkrun results. I'm now being joined by another 4 women and 1 man, so mostly women doing the not parkruns for Owairaka. But you said there's a bit more of an even split with you, Claire.
Yeah, I think the last time I looked early this afternoon there was 17 of us had done a Millwater one, and it was I think it was 8 to 9. I think so. 8 men, 9 women. Yeah, so pretty even.
That's pretty cool.
I noticed that this week at Owairaka there was only 1, but it was a woman. I've done a few in the past, but I don't think we have many overall.
I'm probably the only person who regularly logs not parkruns. I've been logging them pretty much since they started, especially when we were on our pause, and when we came back. I just find it a really good way for me to see my progress over a 5K distance.
Yeah.
And you've got Strava, but Strava's got everything in it. Like, you know, when I go out for a 2K walk or, you know, other long runs. But with the not park run results, so I did a great run earlier in the week, and I thought, oh, this is pretty fast for me. And then I scrolled down and down and down and down, and I could see where the Saturday runs were, because I think most people run faster at a proper park run than they do a not park run, just because you're around other people when you know that it's being timed and it counts for something. But this was my fastest not park run since September the 1st, so I was pretty pleased with that.
Awesome. Well done.
Yeah.
We had 16 people logging not park runs this week, 10 of whom were women.
Go the girls.
Yes, go the girls. Yeah, well, I know we were talking a lot about, because it's International Women's Day and Choose Your Challenge, but it's also been International Children's Day today, International Women's Day tomorrow. Yeah. Today's the 7th, and you know, Pegasus and Millwater had planned to have children's takeover events, and it's sad that it didn't get to go ahead. But one children's takeover that did get to go ahead was at Owairaka last week. So, Julie, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, we had been supposed to do it the week before, which got cancelled with the number 3 lockdown. So it was a bit of a scramble, because we'd had pretty much a full roster for that week, and then, you know, some of the kids couldn't make it, so that was a shame. We missed a few kids who were involved in different things the following week, but we got some other kids come. So, you know, the youngest was, I think, 4 years old, and the oldest was my daughter, who turns 18 in another week. So it was great. And it really sort of kind of caught the imagination of a lot of the regular readers of the run reports, because our little boy Zach, he's one of the run director's nephews, and I think he's only 6. It was his voice, maybe his parents actually wrote it, and it just proved a huge hit. So it's really good, and he's volunteered in other roles before. We've got some great photos of him before at Western Springs in his bright yellow raincoat in the pouring rain and barcode scanning and so on. So, and his younger sister was on duty too.
Yeah. That was a great run report.
It was awesome.
It was awesome, yeah. I hope he does it again. His dad's written a run report before, and his aunt, obviously. But, he's yet to complete a whole park run himself, but I know that he's going to do it soon. He's done part, because the mum and dad both run, and dad pushes a buggy. He's got 2 little siblings. So it's, it's a real family affair there. If they're not somewhere else, like out of Auckland, then they'll be at Owairaka. So it's great.
Yeah, I think a lot of people could, really loved reading that report, and they could picture the event from a child's eye.
Gorgeous.
It was great. Yeah, we found it hardest actually to get a course set up kids. I guess that was a bit of a challenge, the way our long out and back is 2K, so most adults will run 2K out, 2K back to set up, but that was a bit daunting, I think. So in the end, our 17-year-old token giver outer, I dropped her off, so she only had to do 2K. So it solved the problem. Yeah. But it was fun. Yeah, I'd love to do it again. I'd been wanting to for years, like before when I was a run director at Western Springs. I'd had the idea, but it was just a big organisation. So this time it just came together.
Yeah. Yeah, my old parkrun back in the UK has done a kids takeover, but it's been more like the youth, as they call them. Teenagers mostly.
Yeah. Well, we had a range, but it was, easy. When I was thinking of marshals, and I thought, well, unless the mum or dad doesn't run as well, then there's a young kid potentially standing, before the runners come, and and then getting back. So I sort of worried about who was going to be the marshals. So in the end, we had the older kids I sent the furthest away, and the one that sat by Zach, the run report writer, they were set up there. She was the daughter of the runner who actually came in first that day. But as Zach noted in the run report, he'd said he told his daughter he was taking it easy and he wanted to come in 5th place. And sounds like he couldn't help himself. He came in first. But it was fun. The marshal and the run report writer setting up camp almost at the start finish area at the bridge there. So it was quite entertaining.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, hopefully Pegasus and Millwater can do a kids takeover in the future.
Yeah, we've rescheduled ours for the 10th of April, actually. I've just been doing the comms for that today, so hopefully we get the same team in. Yeah, cool. Looking forward to it. And they've our run director is Bruno, and he's decided that he wants a theme, and it's pajamas. So we're all going to be running in our pajamas that day.
Cool. When we did ours last year, we paired all the children up. So we had an older one and a younger one on all the roles.
Wow.
And our 2 run directors chose the theme of cartoon characters for ours last year, which was pretty cool. It's really tricky to do, actually.
Yeah.
Cartoon character. But, it was good. I have a rather large dress up, so I managed to scrape something together.
Cool. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. So just coming up to half an hour, and don't want to take up too much more of your Sunday evenings. So thanks for coming on and just chatting parkrun stuff. My one bit of news is that tomorrow the link for my book for the pre-orders will go live. So very exciting. Well, actually, it's live already now, but I just haven't published it anywhere. So I will be posting that tomorrow, so look out for that. And listen to the Parkrun Adventurers podcast, because that's an awesome show all about parkrun tourism, mostly in Australia, but with the occasional New Zealand voice in it. Although technically I'm British, but New Zealand citizen. I have the passport.
Kiwi now. Yeah.
You can't get rid of me now.
No.
We don't want to.
Thanks. Yeah, so that's my last bit of news. I should have opened with that too, really. Capitalise on captive audience. But
Done it 3 times, Alison, at the beginning, the middle, and the end, just to make sure.
Right, next time I mention it.
Missed opportunity.
But the pre-order is only for New Zealand residents at this stage, because I have to do something different for overseas that involves Amazon and reformatting the whole size of the book. That's a bit technical, so I'm leaving that for someone else to do.
Yes, sounds complicated.
Yeah, very. Right, so I'll just see where my red button is. Any final words from anyone? No? Awesome.
No, okay.
I hope I'll be back next week, but it's my husband's birthday, so he might not let me. So I will.
It's my birthday next week too. We're going to do Queenstown Parkrun for my birthday.
Nice. That's a beautiful parkrun.
Yes, yeah, we've done it a couple of times before.
And the cafe is awesome too.
Yes. We get the cafe in.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone, and hopefully we'll all be park running next weekend. Maybe not you or Claire or level. Who knows? Who knows? Fingers crossed.
Let's hope so. Hey.
All right. See you then. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.